There are moments in life so pure, so unexpected, that even the toughest heart cracks open. And this Doberman's reaction, the first time he saw the tiny new member of his family, was one of those moments. If you haven't subscribed yet, I want you to pause right now, because the kind of stories we share here, the ones that remind you what real love looks like, they deserve a permanent spot in your life. Hit that subscribe button. You won't regret it. Now, back to our story. His name is Zeus, a 2-year-old Doberman, all lean muscle, sharp ears, and an intense gaze that could stop a room cold. People in the neighborhood called him intimidating. Strangers crossed the street when they saw him coming. His owner, Marcus, had trained him since puppyhood, and Zeus had always been loyal, obedient, and fiercely protective. But behind those sharp eyes lived something most people never took the time to see. A gentleness so quiet, so patient, it had simply been waiting for the right moment to show itself. But nothing, absolutely nothing had prepared Zeus for the day Marcus and his wife Layla came home from the hospital with a 6-pound bundle wrapped in a pale yellow blanket. Marcus walked through the front door first, letting Zeus sniff the air. The dog's entire body went rigid. His ears stood straight. His nostrils flared rapidly, processing a scent he had never encountered before. Something small, warm, and completely new to his world. Zeus had smelled fear before. He had smelled strangers, rain, danger. But this was different. This scent carried no threat, no tension, just something fragile and new, like the smell of spring after a long winter. Then Layla stepped inside, cradling the baby against her chest. Zeus took one step forward, then stopped. He lowered his head slowly, as if bowing. A deep, quiet sound escaped his chest. Not a growl, not a bark, something softer, something almost like a sigh of recognition. He just froze, Marcus later recalled, like he understood immediately that this was someone he needed to protect. What happened next made Layla cry on the spot. Zeus walked over to the corner of the living room, picked up his favorite toy, a worn rope he had carried everywhere for 2 years, and gently placed it at Layla's feet, right next to the baby. A gift, his most prized possession, offered to the tiniest stranger who had just walked into his life. Now, here's where people get divided, and I want to know your opinion on this. Some say a Doberman's instinct around newborns is purely protective, almost instinctive, that they sense vulnerability and immediately switch into guardian mode. Others believe it's something deeper, that dogs like Zeus form emotional bonds before they even fully understand what they're bonding with. Which side are you on? Drop it in the comments. I genuinely want to read every single response. Because what Zeus do over the next few weeks suggested it wasn't just instinct. Every morning before Marcus or Layla even woke up, Zeus was already positioned outside the baby's room, not sleeping, watching. When the baby cried at 3 a.m. and Layla stumbled down the hallway half asleep, Zeus was already there, standing at the crib, tail moving in a slow, gentle arc. He never jumped, never startled the baby. He moved around her with a kind of deliberate softness that seemed almost impossible for a dog his size, as if he had recalibrated everything, his speed, his weight, his energy, just for her. Neighbors who once feared Zeus started stopping Marcus on morning walks, asking about the baby, asking how the big one was adjusting. Marcus always smiled and said the same thing. He adjusted before any of us did. Layla started calling him the night shift. But the moment that truly broke the internet, the clip Marcus almost didn't post, came on a quiet Tuesday afternoon, 3 weeks after the baby came home. Layla had laid the baby on a soft mat in the living room for tummy time. Zeus had been resting nearby, and then, slowly, he got up, walked over, and lay down directly beside her, his large, warm body curved gently around her small frame like a crescent moon. The baby turned her head. Her tiny fingers reached out blindly and found Zeus's nose. Zeus didn't move. He closed his eyes, and for a long, still moment, the house was completely silent, except for the sound of the baby cooing softly at the warmth beside her. No one moved. No one spoke. It was the kind of silence that feels sacred, the kind you instinctively know not to break. Marcus filmed it from the doorway, hand shaking. "I didn't want to breathe," he said later. "I didn't want to break whatever was happening in that room." That clip has now been watched over 14 million times. People in the comments wrote things like, "I've been crying for 10 minutes and I'm not even sorry," and "This Doberman has more gentleness in him than most humans I know." And maybe that's the real lesson here. We build walls around things we don't understand. We label what we don't know. We cross the street, we hesitate, we judge. And sometimes the most profound love exists exactly where we least expect it. A breed dismissed as dangerous, a dog that strangers feared. And yet, here he was, the most patient, devoted, tender guardian in the room. Zeus didn't need time to decide. He didn't need convincing. He just looked at something small and vulnerable, and every part of him said, "Mine to protect." Marcus and Layla have documented every milestone since that Tuesday. Zeus sitting at the baby's side during her first bath at home, Zeus padding alongside the stroller on morning walks, never more than 2 feet away. Zeus learning, without being taught, not to bark when she's sleeping, not to rush through doorways when she's on the floor, not to take his eyes off her when strangers come close. She's 4 months old now. She has started reaching for Zeus every time he enters the room. And Zeus, the dog people once crossed the street to avoid, always comes, always lowers his head, always lets her little hand find him. Marcus says some mornings he stands in the doorway and just watches them together, the Doberman and the baby, both still half asleep, breathing in the same quiet rhythm. No words, no commands, just 2 souls that found each other without ever being introduced. He says it's the most honest thing he's ever seen. Some people are born knowing how to love something bigger than themselves. Some dogs are too. And maybe that's what Zeus has been showing us all along, that real protection isn't about size or strength or sharp ears. It's about choosing every single morning to show up for someone who needs you, without hesitation, without expectation, without ever asking for anything in return. And if this story reminded you that love shows up in shapes we never expected, share it with someone who needs to see it today. One last question before you go. Do you think Zeus knew from that very first sniff that she was his to protect? Or did that love grow slowly, one quiet night at a time?